All right, everybody, good morning and welcome to the 2025 Memphis Habitat New Construction Procurement Meeting. I am Alan Massing, the Director of New Construction, and today we're going to go through the procurement policies and procedures and how you can partner with Memphis Habitat and help us build homes. At this time, I'm going to let the team introduce themselves.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ann Metters, and I am the Construction Administration Manager in charge of all the paperwork.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adrian Turner. I'm the Site Supervisor with Habitat for Humanity. I'm the Warranty Coordinator. I manage lots and manage our REOs also. And as a Site Supervisor on the build site, I help with the guys to make sure volunteers are safe and doing the assignment that they was appointed.
Hi, my name is Ricardo. I'm the Senior Site Supervisor of New Construction Homes here at Habitat.
And everyone, my name is Trent Richardson. I'm a new home construction site superintendent. Basically, I'll be working with the vendors and the subs to get materials on site, as well as schedule any work that needs to be done on the homes to get them complete.
Hello, my name is Stacy Davis. I am the CFO here at Memphis Habitat, and I oversee accounting and finance.
Good morning. My name is Martinica Parker, and I handle the accounts payable for Memphis Habitat. So any invoicing or payables I would handle.
All right, thank you, everyone. That is our team that makes up new home construction and finance. So now we're going to move into our slideshow to share with everyone how Memphis Habitat works and how you can partner with us and talk about framing the future with us. So Habitat is in their 42nd year serving the Shelby County area. We're going to, Kim, next slide, please. About Memphis Habitat, how our program works and how we build. Next slide. All right, so everyone in the 901 deserves a decent place to live. Memphis Habitat helps families build and improve places to call home. We have two major programs at Memphis Habitat, and one of those is the new homes with the affordable mortgages for first-time home buyers. Then we have a second program called Agent in Place, which is repairs for our older homeowners. We work to make quality housing affordable because we believe affordable homeownership and safer homes for seniors help create strong and stable communities. Next slide. Our mission for Memphis Habitat is seeking to put God's love into action. Habitat for Humanity brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And our vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Slide. So let's talk about our home buying, our no interest mortgages. Memphis Habitat offers affordable mortgages to qualified applicants who meet the income requirements and have a need for affordable housing. Home buyers must attend a multi-week home buyer education program and complete 250 partnership hours. And also those buyers contribute earnest money towards their closing cost and build up an emergency fund before closing on their affordable Habitat mortgages. So the most important thing is that we offer a zero interest mortgage. And we're able to do that because of the partnerships with our subs and also our companies that come out and donate time and the money to help us bring the cost of homes down so that we're able to sell them at the appraised value. Next slide. Here's some of the Habitat home features we have. Depending on the family's needs, we can build a 3, 4, or 5 bedroom home. All our homes have 2 baths. We have 1 and 2 story plans, and that's also just based on the lots that we have available. Habitat for Humanity builds with MLGW Eco Build standards. So we have energy efficient appliances, energy efficient HVAC systems, as well as tankless water heaters. We also use that low volatile organic compound paint. All our homes will have hardy plank lap siding. We provide security systems with the option to continue monitoring services. We use 30-year dimensional asphalt shingles. And then we also allow our home buyers to have some choices. They can choose carpet selections, sometimes vinyl flooring, but we've moved on to SBC flooring now. And then there'll be some countertop options they can choose from, and also that exterior paint color. All our homes offer accessibility. So we'll have at least one covered no-step entry. We have 4-foot hallways, 5-foot turnaround in the kitchen, 1 bathroom, the laundry room. All our switches have been lowered and all our receptacles have been raised to that height that is accessible. And then most importantly, with the MLGW EcoBuild standards and insulation we use, our homes have affordable utilities and they're move-in ready. Next slide. Here's some photos we have, examples of our homes showing the 2-story plans, also the 1-story plans, all with front porches. Depending on the area that we build, Uptown requires 3 steps at the front porch, but other areas of Shelby County were able to make almost a ramp to the front door to get to that covered entry. Next slide. Here's some more houses we've built in the Uptown area. So we do a mixture of hardy siding and brick that you can see in these photos. So yeah, next slide. And here's some interior photos showing some open floor plans. We also offer our appliances to our home buyers. Again, making it move-in ready. We install blinds in our homes. Every bedroom and living room has a fan. All right, next slide. So now we're going to move to where you can find information about building with Memphis Habitat. Next slide. All right, so what you're going to do is go to www.memphishabitat.com. All right, and you're going to look for that contractor bid room, and you're going to follow those links to find the necessary documents and the items for bid to qualify as a subcontractor for Habitat for Humanity and the new construction program. All right, so next slide, please. All right, so now at this time, we're going to show you how you can get involved and work with Memphis Habitat's new construction. So now we have gone to the memphishabitat.com website, and on that top section, you see we have it kind of highlighted there. It's contractor bid room. So you're going to actually click on that. And that's next slide. All right, so once you click on contractor bid room, you'll see in this section we have new home construction and also agent in place home repair. So we're going to click on the new home construction. Here you're going to find some information you need. This is going to tell you about our procurement meeting that we had and what we're filming and letting you know those requirements, but also you'll see there's ways that you can bid on our new construction. So once we'll go to the next slide here in a minute, but you're going to want to submit those bids at bids@memphishabitat.com. And also below that, you'll see there's all the required documents you need. And these are links that you can click on that will pop up a PDF that you can print fill out that information. You can also open these in Adobe Reader if you have that set up, and you can fill in on the computer. But once you get all the information listed below, that's where you're going to want to submit that information to bids@memphishabitat.com. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to that items for bid. Okay, and then this section here will show you all the different items that you can bid on for our new home construction. Everything from air conditioning, security cages, appliance installation, architect, bricklayer, build site prep, all the way down to windows. So it's a good list of 29 items here. We're just going to pick one to click on. Let's do electrical. All right, so when you click on any one of those items, you're going to get this form, and this is the invitation to bid form. The one we're looking at now is for electrical. So it's going to list out house plans average around 1,400 square feet. We're asking to quote your best price per square foot to complete the electrical requirements for a single family, single story home construction on a monolithic concrete slab. So again, we also list those requirements for each house. Everything for permits, that subcontractor will be responsible for permits, inspections, installing temporary electric pole, circuit breaker, wiring. You know, I don't have to go through all these items, but we list all that. And then from there, we're going to need a per. So then there's another page here. Here's some more requirements that let you know, again, those forms from the previous page. We're going to need those. And what we're asking for is a per square foot price for this 1,400 square foot home on this invitation to bid. All right, Kim, we'll go back. So just like that electrical bid, invitation to bid form, again, let's just do one more while we have time. Let's click on the painting, number 19. Great. Again, you're going to have, when you click on that, you're going to have this PDF form, invitation to bid painting. It says some of the same information, 1,400 square foot home. Please provide a quote per square foot cost to paint all the interiors, ceilings, walls, and trim single family, single story home. Also provide a quote to paint the exterior walls and the cornice. All paint will be provided by Memphis Habitat. Caulk, putty, etc. will be provided by the subcontractor. And then it lists those bidder requirements again. Just pay attention to things like that when you go through the bids. If it says Habitat will provide, Habitat will be doing our best to provide all the materials you need. And that's why we're looking for this per square foot cost for labor. All right, so now you've seen the bid room, you saw our Memphis Habitat website and how to get involved. You've also seen where to submit your bids. There is also an option that you can mail those, print those PDFs out, print out all your information. If you scroll down again for me, Kim. Here we do list our funding and regulations. And then below that, there is some contact info. So if you do have questions, feel free to reach out to myself. It's got our email, our phone number. Ted is our director of repairs. And then Ann Metters, who you met earlier, construction administrator manager. So you have emails and phone numbers if you have questions. And for that, that concludes our bid room. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Ricardo again, and I'm going to talk to you about a few of the requirements for our state and federal grants. Next slide, please. So with the Health Transformation Grant, this is a program that we are kicking off this year. It's through the Tennessee Department of Health. It will consist of 10 new homes that must be completed by November of 2025. It's very important to remember that these projects will have fixed pricing. So once you turn in your bid, for the home. We ask that you please check and double check your numbers so that when you submit that, that is a locked price that we will not be able to change, and that is per the state for this specific grant. We will be working with occupational therapists to get the needs of specific home buyers, which we may have to include or add ADA-related items to that specific home. And if we have not gotten a bid form for that specific thing on the website, then we will either create one or we will solicit 3 bids for that. Once bids are submitted, they are first approved by Memphis Habitat, and then of course they have to be approved by the state of Tennessee. And once that happens, the bids will be locked. If there is more than one bid in a specific trade area, then we will utilize a rotating schedule to award the work. Next slide, please. Homes funded by other federal grants. Of course, again, when we're utilizing federal grants for funding, bids must be approved by Habitat and then by the grantor that is providing us with the funds. Award contracts will contain a do not exceed clause, and also change orders will only be awarded on a case-to-case basis. In compliance with federal regulations, we do have to follow a few other statutes that may or may not be used in every home or every project, depending on, again, which grantor we're using. Next slide, please. One of the specific things that we're being asked for this year is to conform with the Build America, Buy America Act. And so with this specific requirement, we have to use, I want to say 55% or more of our materials to be manufactured within the US. Specifics on materials will be plastics and polymer-based products, glass, fiber optic cabling, optical fibers, our lumber, our drywall, and our engineered wood. So just be mindful if one of these products are in your field, please just be mindful of that when submitting a bid, because as we do know that certain items, if they are not made in the US, we understand that there'll be a significant or a slight markup to be able to get that manufactured here within the US. And that is pretty much all I have about the grants. And I will now pass it over to Martinica to discuss invoicing and finance. Thanks.
Good morning. We're going to cover the invoicing procedures portion of the slides. Invoices must be submitted to AP@memphishabitat.com on Tuesday by midnight for payment in 8 business days. For example, you would submit it by Tuesday, so you'll be paid on the Friday of the following week. All invoices must be submitted in PDF or Microsoft Word format, no JPEG, no Excel, etc. Invoices, they won't be accepted if they're not sent PDF. Please review the handout from finance for the full list of invoice requirements, and note payments via ACH is highly encouraged. Next slide, please. On your screen, you should see a letter that we've submitted to our vendors and contractors, and I'll go ahead and read that so that you guys can be more familiar with what our procedures and policies are. It says, Dear Habitat for Humanity vendors and contractors, we are strategizing our policies within the finance department in response to federal guidelines. These updates will affect how we process our invoices. Although our invoice submission policy will still be the same, there will be new requirements for invoice submissions that will be implemented to adhere to our new funding requirements. And also, we appreciate all of you guys' hard work and dedication in helping us with our mission of providing safe and affordable homes to our local family members. Next slide, please. On your screen, you'll see I have an example of an invoice, and then also the instructions on what our requirements for invoicing are. So I'll just read along and kind of give you guys, you can look at the example that I've provided so that it gives you a visual of what we're actually looking for when you're submitting invoices. So it says invoice email submission. Submit all invoices to our ap@memphishabitat.com email address. The invoice guidelines. All invoices will need all of the information below for processing. Any omission of any of the items below will result in the invoice being unable to be processed, and a corrected invoice will be requested. So on your invoices, you want to make sure that you have the name of your company, because sometimes we receive invoices and there are no headers. I can't identify what company I'm actually supposed to pay. So it's essential to make sure that you have the name of your company on your invoice. It could be on the header top, or you could put it on the bottom. Just make sure that it's clearly visible to finance what company that invoice is for. Also include your contact information. You can list your address, telephone number, email address, so that in the event that if there's something wrong with your invoice or something that I need to call you on, I'll know who to contact in regards to the invoice that you're submitting. Another thing that we are requesting is an invoice number. And the reason for this is it helps us to clarify which invoices we're paying. So once we send a payment out to you all, we'll send a remittance that comes along with that, that'll list the invoices that are going to be paid. And then you can track your numbers as well, which invoices we're paying, because we'll have those numbers listed. But that is crucial, and that is essential for us to identify what exactly we're paying. Any omission of that, again, we'll send the invoice back and ask for an invoice number. Another thing that you will need is your date of service. And that could be the date that you perform the duties. If you go out on a house on Wednesday, let's say March 21st, you want to list that on your invoice so that if we need to review or check the date that you provided the services, we'll know what date to check. And your invoice date needs to be on your invoice as well. It does not have to be your service date. Your service date and your invoice date could be totally different. Let's say you perform the services, like I said, on March 21st, and you don't get to invoice until March 30. That's fine. You can put March 30 on your invoice date as the date that you generated that invoice, and leave your date of service as the date that you actually performed the service. Include your property address. So whatever property that you're working on, you want to ensure that you've gotten the correct address, the correct location that you're working on, and that you've also included that on your invoice. And we'll need that to process your invoice. Description of services, they don't have to be long. You can just specify the specific work that you're doing for that day. Just list, like if you're cutting grass, you can list that on there, cut grass at the location that you cut the grass at. A due date. You can put a due date on your invoice. Just be mindful that if you do include a due date on there, we do adhere to due dates. So if you give us terms for net 30, we will utilize that net 30 due date. Also, the amount requested for payment. Make sure that amount is on there. Sometimes we receive invoices where the line items don't quite match up. So when you're submitting invoices to us and they have different numbers on there, make sure that your numbers are totaling the amount that you're requesting for payment. And also make sure that it's clearly identified exactly how much you guys are asking for us to remit payment to you on. And it says all invoices must be submitted in PDF or Microsoft Word format. That is correct. No JPEG, Excel, any other invoice types won't be accepted. Only PDF and Microsoft Word. And also, if you're providing service, please submit the documentation with your invoice. So if you're completing a service and you want to submit pictures, or you want to submit any information that will be needed to support your invoice, feel free to do that also. And I'm going to read over the invoicing processing policy. Invoices are due submitted to the AP email by Tuesday midnight and paid the Friday of the following week. An example would be if you submit your invoice on a Tuesday for 2/11 of 25, it will be processed on that following Friday or the following Friday on 2/21 of 25. If you're submitting an invoice for services that require an inspection, please be mindful that although we do process your payment according to our payment terms and our invoicing terms, you are subject to that inspection release. So if Alan hasn't had a chance to inspect the work that you've done, please be mindful that once he has done that inspection, your payment will be released, but it will not be released until he's actually done that inspection, and we'll keep you notified of that. Okay, next we're going to cover the invoice payment questions. In the event that you have not received your payment on your invoice per the vendor's pay schedule, and I send those out to you guys annually. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email our AP email at ap@memphishabitat.com. And then allow at least 24 hours for us to respond to you in regards to your questions. Sometimes you may get a response sooner, but allow that 24-hour time frame just in case we're tied up. The next thing is we highly recommend that everyone signs up for our ACH payment processing. You'll see on the next slide, we have the AC agreement for ACH payments. You just get a copy of this form. You can request it from our AP department, our AP email, and just ask for it. We'll send it out to you, and you want to just make sure that you complete this form. Once you do, I'll give you a follow-up phone call just to confirm what was submitted to us, and then we'll get you guys set up for ACH payments. And this does help with expediting payments versus receiving checks because the mail is definitely not dependable. So we encourage you all to sign up for ACH payments.
Hi, everybody. This is Ann again, and I'm here to go over how to start the process of submitting your request for qualifications packet. As we stated before, we are funded by many, many funders, including federal, local, state government entities. And they require us to have certain forms filled out or certain information submitted. So when I'm asking for this information, it's not just to satisfy me or Habitat. It is to satisfy all the people that we actually work for. So the first form that we request to be filled out in its entirety is the company profile form. That form is necessary and it needs to be updated annually so that whenever we need to contact you, we can do so because we have the correct information. Things change, within a year. So we request that we have that completed annually. All right. The next form is our subcontractor agreement. That is also something that we request annually because we have different funders. We generally have to add different information into the subcontractor agreement because of our funders' requirements. So sometimes I get pushback on I signed a contract. Well, maybe you did sign a contract, but we need it updated annually. So general liability insurance, we need that to stay current. Your general liability and workman's comp insurance, and one of our funders requires automobile insurance also. So they request that you have $1 million automobile $1 million general liability and workman's comp insurance, or an exemption from the state for your workman's comp. The next form needed is a signed W-9, signed and dated current W-9. These forms are available on the IRS website. However, when I send you the information to fill out to work for us, I will include the current one. A lot of times I will get W-9 forms from 2018, 2019. The IRS updates these forms annually, so we need the updated form. And it needs to be signed the current date. The next item on the list is a copy of an active Tennessee business license or contractor's license or whatever license is required by your expertise. If you are an inspector, for instance, there is a license issued by the state for that particular field. We also request that you have give us a brief statement of your experience and qualifications on construction. That can be a simple, page or half page, just explaining what it is you do. Once you submit all these documents, someone will give you a call and do a brief interview with you over the phone. So once all those documents are in, then we can put you on the list or receive your bid. And this just goes bid sheets, items for bid. That link takes you to that page. Once you've submitted everything, and I'd like to remind everybody, we prefer getting these documents in PDF. JPEGs usually don't work because I'm uploading this information and filing it in a system. Please submit them as PDFs. And that's all I have for you today. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Martinica, Ricardo, and Ann for sharing all that great information with us. At this time, we want to let you know that we are one team and we do not want to fail any project. We want you to complete the project and have 0 defects. And that is the most cost-effective way for you and us. And we're all here to help. If you have any questions, please contact one of us by email or phone. Questions don't cost money, but mistakes do. So if we need to schedule a time to make a site visit, we'll make that happen for you. We can usually adjust our schedules if we need to do so. So working together, we are making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in Memphis. Next slide. All right, and for that, this concludes our 2025 new construction procurement meeting. And we want to thank you all for taking time to watch this video, hear about our program, see how we all can work together and change lives in the 901. So again, here's a slide here showing how you can contact us by email. So thank you again and see you soon.